We have seen how dictators cause a lot of pain and suffering and eventually lead their countries into poverty. Why is that? I think that if they know the answer, it could become more difficult for them to rationalise their actions and perhaps slow some of them down a bit. If you hear the way dictators talk, they very often see their actions as righteous. They even see themselves as people who sacrifice their lives for a greater cause. Take a listen to what Saddam Hussein had to say moments before he was executed.
What did the guard write about his final minutes before he went to the gallows?
Yeah, well, just in the last 10 minutes while he was waiting, he asked the guard, he said, I want to give you all my belongings. Please give those to the lawyer, and please tell my daughter that he is going to meet God with a clear conscience, and that he's going as a soldier, sacrificing himself for Iraq and for his people.
Of course, when you actually analyse what they are doing, they very often live like kings while their people starve to death, which shows us how delusional they can get. However, even if there was a dictator who had the best intentions, even if they were actually capable of staying sane and not letting absolute power corrupt them, there is another huge problem which I don't hear anyone talking about. And this problem is the lack of motivation in society. What do I mean by that? Well, we have all heard the saying that America is the land of opportunity. Why did that sound so appealing to so many generations, the majority of which didn't become millionaires, and a lot of them actually crashed and burned along the way? Because people like the feeling of freedom. Even though they might never reach their dreams, people still like to be able to dream. And what does a dictatorship do to those dreams? It shuts them down. If you know that no matter how hard you try, your future is restricted by the vision of another person, you lose motivation and you stop dreaming. A good example of that is that dictators often end up using imported products, like the Soviet Union. There were special stores for the communist elite where they could buy imported goods that were forbidden to the general public. Even though dictators can threaten people with execution if they don't create the products they want, the quality of the products in their country remains poor. Why? Because creativity is born out of dreams, not fear. The ability to be able to dream, the feeling that the sky is the limit, this creates competition, and competition leads to better quality. Of course, creating fair competition is not easy, and this is why we see monopolies and all the other problems that come with the so-called free market. But the idea that one person could take everything into their own hands and make it better is, as we can learn from history, very unlikely. We almost never talk about the fact that creating a harmonious society in which almost everyone is satisfied with their fate is extremely difficult. Even if we had an actual genius like Einstein in charge, it would still be very unlikely that one person could have the capacity to cope with the complexity of this task. I don't think that dictators understand how difficult their job actually is. And when faced with the fact that their economy is not prospering, their people hate them and want them gone, their neighbours want nothing to do with them, they panic. They keep telling themselves that they are doing the right thing, but it is hard to ignore reality. And this is why they surround themselves with yes-men and remove everyone else. Perhaps they are initially driven by the instinct that drove tribe leaders in our primitive societies for thousands of years, and back then in those simple conditions, this type of leadership was apparently very useful. But I don't think that people understand how much more complex things have become in our modern world, where a single mind simply gets overwhelmed by the sheer volume of problems that need solving. Of course, this is just my opinion, and no one actually knows what happens in the mind of a dictator. But I think the more we learn how our brains function, the better we will be able to avoid problems in our future. I don't think that anyone sets out to become a monster, but I think that very often the lack of ability and understanding of how the world works leads a lot of people down the wrong path. This is why I believe that increasing our knowledge is our safest bet for a better future for everyone. Thank you for watching, and if you want our message to reach others, give us a like and perhaps share this video with your friends. We are a small group of people working in normal jobs, investing our time and our own money because we want to create a new genre on YouTube where people gather to discuss ideas about a better future. This is why we appreciate every like, every comment and every subscriber. So share your thoughts with us in the comments below and join us for more future thoughts.